Hey there, YouTube. What is up? I'm super thrilled. I got some amazing information to share with you guys today. I've made it my personal resolution for 2019 to own a yellow Lamborghini, a house by the ocean, bags of money, clothes, women, a villa, and I want you guys to be able to get this info too. So that's why I've made this video. So if you want to see how I'm going to actually do it, you got to stick around to the end. All right. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay. Hey there, guys. Yeah, that was reality on the phone, and turns out everything I just said, yeah, not happening. It's not gonna happen for a couple reasons. Did you know that 90% of people that set out to achieve their New Year's resolutions fail? So that leaves 10%. 10% of people that try to achieve their resolutions succeed. Now, why would that be? It's usually because we are not being realistic. We don't fail at achieving our dreams because we don't have the potential, or we don't have the capacity, or we're not worth it. It's because we put too much on our plate at once. We write down too many resolutions, some of which we know we're probably not gonna do, but we like the way it sounds. So you have to ask yourself the question, what is real to you? Are you gonna be able to go from 0 to 100 in 2.8 without a Lamborghini? Probably not. Which brings us to our first step. Dream big, but not too big. So basically what this step means is you're gonna wanna choose realistic resolutions. Ones that you can actually achieve. Ones that will complement your strengths. Ones that make you wanna get out of bed in the morning. Ones that you can actually achieve. And this is where you'll ask yourself the questions, what kind of resources or know-hows will be required for me to achieve these resolutions? So basically what this step is all about is just asking yourself the question, is this realistic? Are the goals that you're choosing right now plausible? Do they fit into your lifestyle? Will you be able to achieve them with the time allowed within the next year or even beyond that? Do you really want to do it? Maybe you're doing it because somebody else is doing it. One of your friends has decided to do the same thing. But is that enough of a reason to actually follow through? So once again, ask yourself the question, is this right for me? If it is, then we'll move on to step 2. But if it isn't, keep putting it down on the paper till you find something that is real to you. Now it's time for step number 2. Relate or deflate. All right, so I'm gonna put extra emphasis on this one, guys. When you're choosing your New Year's resolution or any goal or resolution, you're gonna wanna make sure that it's something that you hold value to, something that you can see as important to yourself, whether it directly or indirectly relates to your dreams or your inner desires. Make sure that it resonates with your passions. You know, it's always a good thing to choose resolutions that can further your stance, whether it's in your personal life or your family life or your career life, where it's going to create a positive impact on people around you or yourself, of course. It's something that excites you, something that tests your creativities or challenges your intellect. Whether it's long-term or short-term, you're going to be the one doing it, so you might as well make it enjoyable. Remember, if you can't relate on a deeper level to your resolution, then like I said in the title, you're probably gonna deflate and fail and become discouraged and not want to set goals again. So like I said, whether it's something personal or career-based or whatever it might be, just take the time now because it isn't a race. You know, you're going at your own pace. Doesn't matter if you get this list done today or by next month, you're still making progress. And that's what this is all about. It's about moving forward. So keep that in mind. That's pretty much it for this step, relate or deflate. So let's go on to step number 3. Detail or derail. So at this point in the video, guys, I'd imagine a lot of you are asking the question, Can these titles get any more cheesy? And the answer is yes, they can, and they will. But for now, let's focus on the steps themselves and get through those together. So in detail or derail, what we're going to be doing is we're going to visualize. We're going to visualize every single aspect of our resolution from the beginning to the end and ask ourselves what kind of resources are required from us, whether it's knowledge or a new skill, finances, whatever it is. We're going to be specific about it. We're going to put it on paper and we're going to organize it. And when we organize it, it doesn't matter whether it's, on your computer or on a piece of paper or point form or brainstorm. The idea here is that we're putting our thoughts down. It might take a little bit of time because we want to think of every single aspect of our resolution in this step. The reason we're going to try to brainstorm every single idea here is so down the line in the future, we can look back. This will be our definitive structure. This is our blueprint right here. And this step is the necessary step where we'll be bringing our resolution to life. It's also important in this step to ask yourself the question and to make categories whether, these resolutions, whatever you might be choosing is long-term or short-term, or even in your long-term resolutions, there's going to be a lot of other short-term goals too you have to accomplish to be able to get to that point. So basically in this step, you're asking yourself what's required in order to complete the resolution. Another important idea here to consider is when we're writing our resolutions down, we want to make it actionable. We want to bring it to life, almost like an everyday mission statement. You're going to use language like I will or I am going to. Use I because it creates a realistic idea in the head. One example we can use in this step just to give you an idea of the kind of language you might want to use. Let's say you come up with one of your resolutions is to read more. Okay, now how are you going to do that? How are you going to put that on paper and bring it to life? Well, let's say instead of saying I want to read more, you'd say I want to read X amount of books within the year, right? So let's say I want to read 12 books a year. So then we can look at it, we can step back and say, how many would that be a month? Okay, I want to read one book a month. And then maybe on average, there's 250 pages in a book. So then you can do the math there and ask yourself, how many pages will you have to read each day? And then from there, you have a little bit more of an outline, an idea of how much time you need to invest in each resolution. And then from there, what you can also do is use actionable words like I will read one book a month. I will do this or that, because that way it kind of brings it to life and you're talking to yourself, you're making it real. And don't be afraid to, if you might set something like I just said, I want to read one book a month, even if that seems too big for you, and say I want to read half a book a month. Like I said, there is no race. This is at your pace, so you don't want to overdo it. So let's move on to our fourth and last step, base it on time or waste your time. All right, so at this point in the video, what you guys will be needing is one of these. Yes, a calendar. Whether it is in paper form or on your phone, it is absolutely crucial that you have a calendar because it allows us to create that well-structured, time-sensitive idea of when each task within your resolution needs to be completed by. It also allows you to anticipate deadlines and keeps you on the right track. So we're always going to glance back at our calendar, whether we're updating it or changing it. This is what will allow us to estimate how long each task will take. So there will be a little bit of critical thinking here, guys, where we're going to actually kind of time out and just imagine approximately how long each step will take. Whether is it too much time or too little time, we're going to kind of work out the kinks here, and it doesn't have to be completely accurate, but just kind of a rough estimate. So things to consider, it kind of all depends on your personal schedule and your daily circumstance. So, if you work from 8 to 4 every day. You might have to do some of the tasks beforehand. You don't want to make it too easy, but you don't want to make it too big of a challenge where you're putting too many things into your day at once. So kind of balance it out. That's the idea here, is to give yourself a little bit of flex room. Of course, you wouldn't want to burn yourself out. So give yourself time to still do your hobbies and see family and friends or play video games. We just want to make sure that we don't overexhaust ourselves. All right, so now I will show you guys an example, which is actually my New Year's resolution. It might give you an idea of how you can implement your resolutions into your daily schedule and into your life. So when I first started jotting down ideas for my New Year's resolution, I think I came up with about 30 in total, and I kind of came to the conclusion it's just a little bit too much, and once again, it's unrealistic. So I kind of took a step back and asked myself which ones were the most important to me. So then I came up with 10 in total. What I did from there is I divided them into two categories: personal resolutions and then career resolutions. All right, so let's begin with my personal resolutions to start off. Number 1, I had read more books. Number 2, eat healthier and maintain diet. Number 3, exercise. Number 4, travel more. And number 5, learn a new language. Now that we have each resolution down on paper, what we'll do from here is we'll break down each resolution and put it into more detail to give us a better understanding of what kind of resources or tools are required from us in order to carry it out. So for the sake of this demonstration, what we'll do is we'll use example number 2, eat healthier and maintain diet. So the how factor, how are we gonna make this happen? So eat healthier, maintain diet. First, we gotta find out what kind of foods we need. So I put nutrition checklist. Basically, just finding out exactly what the body needs and then finding that in the foods that I'm gonna be purchasing. From there, I did a meal prep plan. So pretty much put it into like a calendar kind of format of each meal, each day, just different options. That actually took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but it's nice to see it when it comes to life, when you put on paper and you could almost taste the food. Not really. But anyway, from there was I put grocery shop on Sundays. So basically, I'll prep the meals after I go grocery shopping. I said that should take about 4 hours. I figured for the week for my wife and I, it should cost about $200, including, that's all my foods, whether it's produce or meats and whatnot, not including like household products and whatnot, but just food. And then from there, what I did was I made another column called why. This is more of the motivator. Why am I doing this? Why am I trying to eat healthier and maintain diet? This is more of just a reminder to motivate me. So basically, it's to promote health, to save money, to gain a balanced lifestyle, and to prolong my life. I mean, it's pretty self-evident, but you know, when you have it down there and you look back at it, it reminds you, okay, this is why I'm doing it. I love myself, I care about myself, I'm trying to better myself. So this also means that now that I'm eating healthier, I'm not really supposed to be eating as unhealthy. However, it's kind of hard sometimes when you have your friends in front of you munching down crunch bars and whatnot. It's pretty easy to give in. So, I mean, I'm gonna give myself that flex day, and especially at the beginning, I'm not gonna go full-fledged right into it because, I mean, I've done that before and sometimes it just doesn't work. So I'm gonna have a flex day, which I'm gonna use on my Saturday because it's my day off. So then it will kind of just, you know, give me that little bit of rest so it's not always so intense. And I mean, depending on what your goals and resolutions are, there's always gonna be temptations. Whether it's amazing pizza with pepperoni and stuffed crust, you might just have to replace it with something else. Maybe a banana. Probably better if it's a ripe banana. But nonetheless, these temptations aren't going anywhere, so you're gonna have to teach yourself how to deal with it. Okay, so now that we're finished with looking at my personal resolutions, let's take a glance at my career resolutions. So in the same format, number 1, I put ask for more responsibilities at work. Number 2, learn new skills. Number 3, build a brand. Number 4, start a YouTube channel. And number 5, get a part-time job. So like I said, in the same format, let's look at maybe ask for more responsibilities at work. So in the how column, how am I going to ask for more responsibilities at work? Well, in the field that I work in, schooling's a big part of it. So as part of my apprenticeship, I'll be going to school in April, and I'll be having to get my Class B certification for gas fitting, okay, guys? So asking myself what's required for that in order to make that happen. First of all, you need money. It's going to be about a couple thousand, and it's a 10-week course. So I'm going to need a lot of patience for one, a lot of focus, and I haven't done math for a while, so I had to do an upgrading of my math. And then from there, what I'll also need is I'll need income as well. So that's why I'm getting the part-time job on the side to work at nights. As well, I'm going to have to go on EI, which is employment insurance, in order to be able to still live every single day. So I mean, I know it's not going to be an easy road ahead, but that's what's one thing that's going to advance me in this company. So I've just told myself I have to do it. It's one thing that just has to be done, no ifs, ands, or buts. So then we have the other column, why am I doing it? I mean, it's pretty clear. You know, you make more money, obviously. Once I get my ticket, it's recognized around the world. So then it'll allow me to travel and do work at the same time. And, you know, even for, you know, working here at home, I'll be able to grow in the company. I'll be able to learn those new skills that I wouldn't be able to learn before. So, you know, in any way to advance yourself, it's always a good idea to start off with something that you're already doing. You know, I've worked for this company for a year, so I figured it's just time to try to advance myself and take it to the next level. Yeah, so that pretty much concludes my examples. I mean, guys, be creative with yours. If you want, you could use some of mine as well, but, you know, it might not translate the same way, so don't be afraid to take your time. Like I said before, it's not a race, but just be real with yourself. And ask those questions, right? You know, just ask if it's something that you want to do. Does it apply to your lifestyle? Is it a good fit for you? Once again, you'll be the one doing it, so you might as well be enjoying it. And that about does it for today's video, guys. I just want to say thank you so much for checking out the channel, The Health Mark, as well as watching these videos and pretending to laugh at these mediocre jokes. This was my first video on YouTube, so once again, I appreciate it. And if you guys like the content you saw today, there will be weekly videos put up with health-related content. So I would love to see your guys' resolutions if you want to put them down in the comments below. And yes, one more thing. This, guys, not cool. In the garbage, so it's out with the bad and in with the good. Look at that goodness. That's Mother Nature at its finest.